So is going abroad a way to have more life, more freedom, more abundance? In this video we'll talk about that. If you're new to this channel, or if you've been away for a while, subscribe and check out the rest of the videos. We also have a consulting button. It is a Skype consultation. Don't expect to meet me personally. I'm just traveling way too much for that. Look at that. So is going abroad a way to have more freedom, more abundance, more of everything? There's two sides to that story. If you've been following this channel, you know that we've covered the territory pretty well, but I just wanted to add to that several points. On the one side of the coin, you've got the people that read and follow the Rams. I don't mean to be talking about this a lot, but they are central to this story because you have a lot of traffic that comes from that. So to be clear, there's a lot of people in that group that do a revolving door. And I would say it's the majority. They do a revolving door. They come in, they do everything exactly the opposite of what we recommend, and they waste money and time. And I don't mean to say that they wasted the experience. Clearly they had the experience, and they after whatever time is to them, you know, average 2-3 years, they go back home. And then you have the success stories. So what is a success story? Beautiful. And I would say, based on our experience, we've been abroad 8 years full-time, and we've been traveling. We've been all over Ecuador, Panama, and even Europe. We'll talk about that a little bit in different videos. So I'm in a small southern Italian village, and so central to this theme is of having more enjoyment, more time, more freedom, including more material abundance, whatever that is to you, is this: that having been also to Europe now, clearly that it doesn't really matter where you go, that when you're a foreigner, you're looked at as the one to price gouge. Tourist gouge, price gouge, tourist price, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's the same principle. It doesn't change based on demographics. You see what I'm saying? Even returning Ecuadorians, when we were in Ecuador, I had returning Ecuadorians. These people are well off, and I had them complaining to me that the local landlords wouldn't rent to them because they were Ecuadorian. And the reason for that is just a perception, you know, a perception that locals don't pay the rent, whatever. They don't have the money, they don't pay the rent, they don't take care of the property. And so it's a perception that local Ecuadorians, and even a returning Ecuadorian, he was turned away from an Ecuadorian landlord a while back ago. I'm not saying that happens in every case, but clearly it did happen to him. That was an experience he had, which is kind of unnerving for him because he had the money. And so I'm saying that to say that it's, I find the same, even in Italy, it's the same principle. So it doesn't have anything to do with anything other than being perceived as being foreign. And so where does that leave us for us to get more enjoyment, more freedom, more life, more abundance? Cat in the road. Lots of cactus pear trees right there. I wonder if that's lavender. No, probably not. Interesting though. It's a two-pronged solution. The two-pronged solution is this. You learn how to avoid the gringo gouging, the foreigner pricing. You learn how to avoid it. And I've got hacks for that. I've got very good hacks for hacking even rentals and real estate and such. You know, this information is not going to be available to the public. I've been in a position now to be privy to this for years and to this kind of information, and I've had gringos try to take advantage of that and turn around and flip to other gringos for a profit, and that's not what I'm looking for here. I'm looking to teach those that are sincere about hacking their living abroad and having more, to have more plan abroad. More freedom, more abundance, more enjoyment, more material abundance, everything, the whole picture. Yeah, I'm going to have a private group access to this for that reason. So the two-pronged approach to this is, number one, you learn to hack it and avoid the Gringo pricing. You learn to get into the local level pricing, number one. And number two, buongiorno. There's a local farmer. This looks like fava beans. I used to grow those. Whoa, this is really dangerous. A car can come around this corner and just, if you guys don't see me vlogging anymore, that's what happened. The other prong approach is to, you might have guessed it by now, stay off the ram circuit. Now I understand using it to land the very first time somewhere, but plan on vacating as quickly as possible. And the way to do that is to learn to hack living on a local level. And also, there's some specifics to that. And it's two subcategories to the number two. And A would be to have some friends. Have either one or two other friends, like-minded people that perhaps have, you know, complementary skills to living abroad to your own. And the other thing is to, you know, again, just seek a town that it's not really on the tourist circuit, not just ram circuit, but because there are local tourist trails, and just to learn what those are and to stay out of that. And so you won't feel so alone by yourself, and it can be done. We also encourage you to bring your family along on your trip, on your voyage, and this new adventure. And actually it's a new way of life. Yes, I'm talking about having some family and some friends. That is part of the have more plan, as opposed to just going, you know, all by yourself. And I know that, you know, I'm not judging. I mean, if that's where you are in life, you know, then that's what you do. You know, and I realize everybody is in a different spot in life. Beautiful. Have more. You can smell the flowers. This whole thing is rosemary. The whole thing. On the side of the road here. I'm going to take a sprig. So we're talking about hacking your life, not just abroad. This also applies to in the States. Now I want to mention quickly that I really appreciate your comments. I like the people that are supportive and try to help with ideas. Having said that though, this idea, you know, that sure you can hack Panama, you can just rent a studio or whatever, it isn't part of how we like to do things. You know, if you're traveling for a few weeks, renting a studio is okay. You're just touristing, whatever you're leaving. But the way we like to do things is to have abundance in all spheres. And to me, living in a studio simply isn't really abundance. It is for someone that maybe is a constant traveler and is always moving all the time, every week or two. Living in a tiny studio just isn't really the have more plan, unless a part of your have more plan is just to be nomadic and to move around all the time, which that's just nothing wrong with that. That's to each his own if that's you know, what you're looking to do. Having said that, there's the A and B. The B part is, and you specifically look for areas that are not on the local tourist circuit at all. And in fact, the complete opposite would be even better, where there's just minimal activity or even no activity, or just short seasonal activity. That's perfect. We're not looking for the ram bubbleitis traffic. We want to stay as far away as possible You know, I'm not talking about tourism here. I'm talking about life hacking. Yeah, nowhere near the top, guys. To get on this Have More plan, you can get a lot of ideas from our channel. You can also join our program by going to the links below and signing up. And this also applies to doing this in the States. You can stay off of the equivalent of a RAM circuit in the States would be where everybody is going for work. And I will show you that if you have a retirement income or even any online income, or I can even show you how to make a small income in my program. But my program's about abundance in all spheres. It's not this minimalism thing. So it's not the normally understood idea. That's why I use terminology like professional frugalist instead of just frugalist. Abundance in health, guys. Being able to make this hill is part of the deal today. Oh. Okay, a little further. I'm timing it, so I wonder if I'm at the top here.